Hello, my name is Jeff Orrock. I'm the meteorologist in charge at the National Weather Service office in Wakefield, Virginia. I appreciate taking the time to go through this relatively new impact decision support interface that has been developed by the National Weather Service to allow you improved information really for specific locations. And so we'll get right into what's available and really what's new for everybody. Right now, we are running a COVID-19 website, so it's just weather.gov/AKQ/C19. You see the URL here at the very top of the website. So again, weather.gov/AKQ/C19. On this website, we are providing the point-and-click hourly forecast for a lot of the hospital systems across the area. But what I really wanted you folks to focus on is really this interactive map interface that we have linked to here on the right-hand side of the page. When you click on this interface, you hit continue, it's taking you to the NOAA ArcGIS portal. And so once you get into the ArcGIS portal for NOAA, it will zoom into the state of Virginia as well as Maryland and North Carolina. So what you see here is really an interactive GIS map where you're overlaying all of the radar information. So you can see the showers and maybe a few thunderstorms over the western part of the state. And if there was any watches and warnings in effect, they would also be displaying on the map and they would be interactive. You'd be able to click on the warnings and get the information for that warning. And you can see the various layers that automatically display on the page, including flash flood warnings, special marine warnings, you have your severe thunderstorm warnings, and tornado warnings, as well as all of our watches, including tornado, severe thunderstorm, flash flood. And then continuing to scroll down, you also will have all of the National Hurricane Center layers, including the various hurricane and tropical storm watches and warnings, storm surge watches and warnings, the track of the hurricane. I won't get into all of it, but you continue to scroll down and you'll be able to have all of this information available right on the mapping interface, which makes it really nice. The map is interactive, so I can zoom the map in. So I'll just kind of zoom it in here towards the Wakefield National Weather Service office. You do have some layer controls here in the upper right, so you can change the style and the look of the map. You can turn it into a nautical chart if you have marine interest and you want to know some marine information. You can also turn on different topo maps if that's what you prefer. The dark gray and black kind of gives us a little bit more contrast and ability to kind of see some of the overlays we'll be putting on in a few minutes without making the map very busy. With that, kind of talk about how the page works. In this example here, what we have done is we have added the Wakefield National Weather Service office as a decision support location. So what happens is you can email the National Weather Service office in Wakefield. You can email myself, Jeff Orrock, the warning coordinator, Eric Seymour, or the science officer, Michael Dutter, or you can use our office email at akq-report@noaa.gov, and you can just let us know that you have an event that's going to occur or you want a point forecast added to the map, and we can add that into the system for the days that you desire, and then it makes the point an interactive forecast point. And I'll show you how this works. So in this example here, we do have the Wakefield National Weather Service office turned on as a decision support location. So it's an active forecast point on this interface. When I click on the Wakefield office, you have to give it a second, but all the forecast choices will come up for the Wakefield location. This will actually, the first option, the forecast office homepage, will take you to the main National Weather Service Wakefield website, which everyone's already used to using. If I click on the detailed forecast, it'll take me to the point forecast for Wakefield, which again, most folks have seen in the past. It's the typical website for Wakefield. The hourly weather graph, again, is the usual hourly weather graph that a lot of folks have been using up to this point. Again, this is for the Wakefield location where we clicked. And so you get your hourly forecast of temperatures, winds, and precipitation, as well as snowfall and ice in the winter. As you continue to go down the options, this IDSS point forecast, this is the new forecast interface and the new option that's experimental for you to be able to use. So click on the IDSS point forecast, and now you actually get into a little bit different interface that most folks haven't seen before. The circle is focused on Wakefield, Virginia, which is where we clicked, and this is a point forecast for Wakefield. Notice how this map is interactive, and you do see the radar looping here with some showers there in the western part of the state. As you scroll down, you get a summary for each day for Wakefield, for the location that you click. So you can see today the max temperature is 89, the max heat index is 97, and the chance of rain today is about 24%. And this is a summary for each day going out through the forecast for the next 7 days. You get an outlook for today, tomorrow, and what we call day 3. So for today, there's no severe thunderstorms expected and there's no flash flooding expected. However, in this example, for day 2 or tomorrow, there is a marginal risk of severe thunderstorms and there's also a marginal risk of flash flood. So we could see some strong to severe storms and some potential flash flooding for tomorrow, which is defined as day 2. Continuing to scroll down the page, you do have a nice hourly weather graph table. It includes all your weather elements. At the bottom here, you can scroll this table to go out through a full 7 days. So you can kind of see here, I can get the forecast information going out through the future. Backing it up to the current time, for this example here, you have your temperature and heat index at the top every hour, as well as your sustained wind speed and your peak wind gust. Notice how it is color coded, and as the values and wind speeds increase, the colors do change. So as the wind speeds, let's say, get up to 40 to even 50 mile per hour wind gusts, these colors are going to be getting hotter. They're going to stand out more and let you know there's more of a threat of the wind as the winds get stronger. You see the wind direction. So this is a wind coming from the south or southwest, or coming from 200 degrees as far as a bearing. So a southwest wind at 13 miles per hour, gust to about 20. Probability of precipitation is also color coded. In fact, as I scroll out in time, you'll notice the colors get darker here as the precipitation chances increase. So as we go from a 14% chance of precipitation at 10 a.m. and we move to about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, we go up to a 74% chance. You notice the colors changing to kind of highlight the threat increasing, at least in this situation, of precipitation. Notice rainfall amounts. So how much rainfall do we think may occur in the different time spans? You can kind of get a timing of when we think the heaviest rain is going to occur. So again, this is your graphical forecast table that goes out through 7 days. It's a nice, quick one-stop shop for the weather conditions occurring at the location you clicked. As you continue to scroll down the page, you can really configure the table. You can configure the look of it to how you want to look. You can configure the order of the elements. I won't get into that. Just realize that you can go here if you really want to play with the table and how it looks. You can change that up. Continuing to kind of go on down the page, this is where the hourly weather graphs now come in. They're a little bit cleaner. They're color coded. They may be a little bit easier to use. So you can see in this example here, the high temperature for today is about 89 degrees. It's going to occur right around 4 o'clock this afternoon. And so as I mouse over, you do notice obviously that I'm getting the temperature for every single hour. So it gives you an idea maybe of how long things are going to be hot or cold, and basically how frequently is that event going to occur maybe throughout the week. Chance of precipitations here, so you can see the timing of when we think rainfall is going to occur. And again, this mouse over it and it's interactive, and how much rainfall is going to occur during different time periods. So you can kind of see, here's your chance of precipitation going up, and when do we think most of the precipitation is going to occur in different windows, and how much within each little block. Your hourly wind forecaster here, sustained wind. So in this example here, you have south wind at 13 sustained, gust up to about 21. Again, this is interactive, so you can kind of actually mouse over and it'll tell you what those values are. Again, these are known as wind barbs. So this represents a wind from the south at 13, gust to 21, where here the wind is coming from the north or north-northeast at around 6 miles per hour. So you can kind of see the changing of the wind direction as frontal passages go through the area or storm systems approach. Sky cover just represents what percent of the sky is going to be obscured by clouds. So in this example, it's going to be pretty cloudy for some time. We have anywhere from 60 to 90% sky cover over the course of a long period of time. So in this example here, expect a lot of cloud cover. Snowfall and ice is also in here. Obviously not forecasting any at this point. And then towards the bottom, you have dew point, humidity, and then heat index, which could be pretty useful. So what is going to be the heat index value hour by hour? How long is the heat index going to be? Maybe, let's say, above 95 or 100 degrees. You'll be able to tell that here. But it's a nice hour-to-hour graph of the heat index. So this is a nice point-and-click interface right off of our DSS page here where we started at the ArcGIS DSS web interface. Now what I'm going to show you how to do is turn on more layers, and this will give you the option to get a lot of local forecasts within your jurisdiction. So back over here in the upper right hand corner, I'll click on the different layers, and so once I turn on the different layers, you can see a lot of options that you can turn on for your local jurisdiction. So I can turn on my hospitals, I can turn on my nursing homes if I want. Continue to scroll down here, I can turn on private schools, I can turn on public schools. I'll just start turning on a bunch of different layers here so you can kind of see what the system will look like. So I turn on my public schools. We can keep going into mobile home parks. Anything that's in the system that we can plot is actually going to be in here. And so now you see obviously a lot more points showing up on the map. And so I'll just kind of start to zoom in here on Prince George. And so in this situation now, any point that's been highlighted on the map is now an interactive forecast point. So if I want to come over here to this location and I click on this point, you give it a second, and now it's going to give me all of the different forecast options for that point. So here I have the IDSS forecast point option again, as we talked about in the past. I can click on that, and again, it takes me to this page here where now I can see the individual forecast there for that location in Prince George County. You can see there 3 miles east of Prince George. It tells you the forecast was updated about 91 minutes ago, and it's all of the same information that we just talked about a few minutes ago, so I won't go through that again. But the trick there was to go into these layers and start turning on all the different layers that will provide you more forecast points within your jurisdiction. And so that's how you can kind of turn things on to make the page a little bit more interactive. There is a mobile version of this website. You see down here in the lower right hand corner the IDSS Dashboard mobile version. It's very similar. It has all the same functionality. It does kind of clean up the menus and things a little bit. It makes it a little bit easier to say use on a smartphone. But even this current version that I'm showing you here still runs pretty well on a tablet and works great on a laptop or a desktop, obviously. Now there is another version of this IDSS dashboard that's been a little bit simplified. I mean, you don't have all of the layers and things that you can turn on and off. And it's this website here. It's just weather.gov/forecast points. So you see where I'm highlighting here at the top, weather.gov/forecast points, points being plural. And so this interface now, again, is an interactive map. Notice it's not overlaying the radar. It's not overlaying watches and warnings. It's just basically giving you a map that you can interact with. You can zoom the map in, so you can see here I can kind of zoom into different locations. And so let's say in this example now I want to get the forecast, and I'm just going to go out here towards Carr Lake. So let's go out here towards Mecklenburg County, out maybe towards Clarksville. We can kind of click on the map here and notice how I get my dot location out there near Clarksville in the western part of Carr Lake. As I scroll down, now I start to get into my forecast information. So you can see here the forecast points about 2 miles west of Clarksville. Forecast was updated about 92 minutes ago. And again, here's our summary table for the conditions every day over the next 7 days. I have my severe thunderstorm and flash flood risks for the next 3 days, my hourly forecast table, as well as my hourly forecast graphs. So it's all the same information that we just talked about a few minutes ago. It's just on a little bit more simplified type of a mapping system, mapping network. But it's all the same information. So you can continue to move this around. I'll just click on Richmond. And again, by the time I scroll down, you'll notice it just updated. And now the forecast basically is for right now about 1 mile east-northeast of downtown Richmond. In this example here, notice the heat index is going to be almost 100 degrees. So you can see how the color coding actually works, and the different colors jump out at you as the threat of that type of weather increases. So really a nice interface. Again, so this is weather.gov/forecast points, plural, and this is the IDSS National Weather Service Dashboard. Both very similar in their functionality. They're great resources for everyone to use. The hourly weather graphs and tables, I think are much clearer and much easier to interpret and understand. So we encourage everyone to start to use these resources, to try them out. Let us know what questions you have. You can email them to myself, jeff.orok@noaa.gov, and we'll answer any questions that you might have. I appreciate the time, and hope everyone enjoys these new weather service interfaces.